So how's the
really
background
good.
like? Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
I think it's all good. All right, let me just start off.
Sure.
Hi, I'm May. I'm actually very, very honored today. I think everyone must have heard of the awesome testimony from Dato Edward. But then today, I have him next to me. So I would like him to introduce himself just a little bit and his awesome testimony on Shiruto.
Good afternoon, my good people. It's great to have you here with us on this awesome, wonderful day. I wish you and your family a very grand afternoon or grand day ahead. But the moral of the story is that there is someone out there. As you can see, are you from Malaysia, by the way?
Yes, I am.
All right. As you understand, you might want to look at this report by Frost and Sullivan. The medical industry or healthcare industry next year is worth 80 billion ringgit. And this 80 billion ringgit does not include the Grab that you take to go to the hospital to visit someone, or the taxi that you take, or the car that you drive, or the fuel that you pour in your car, or the unproductivity of you taking off to look after your loved ones. The moral of the story is when you talk about the most expensive bed, people talk about international brands, but the most expensive bed is the hospital bed. And
Yes, it's true.
what I've undergone is that I feel so moved to help people stay out of hospital. And that's the reason why it's not that we're trying to put the hospital industry out of fashion, but prevention is always better than cure.
Yeah.
All right. And there's a saying in a famous movie: chance always prefers the prepared mind. So you got to be prepared.
So twisted.
Yeah, it's so twisted, right?
I need to give it a thought
Yeah,
later.
yeah. Chance, I mean, the very chance of one of your relatives having some kind of condition. If you give a chance for the chance to infect someone's body, they'll become infected. But if you know that the chance is going to take place and you're prepared to take the chance to block the chance of you getting a disease,
Of course.
that's the moral of the story. Anyway, I believe you have some questions for me today.
Oh yeah. I actually know about your testimony is about the Crohn disease that you were diagnosed. Maybe you can just share with us a little.
Sure. Chronic Crohn's disease had always been there, but it was a little bit of a silent personality. Like when somebody has a split personality, you don't know when it's going to happen to you. But I've been treated for ulcerative colitis, for tuberculosis of the rectum, for inflammation of the rectum, and then the worst of it was basically anal fistula, where the bottom of you keeps bleeding and bleeding. I've passed
That's
out
really bad.
close to half a dozen times in public places, in places of worship and so on and so forth. But I never knew what was going on with the loss of blood. Where is it all coming from? Yes, it came out from the bottom, but what's causing it? But after much diagnosis and been given barely, I was given a life-saving operation way back on the 26th of October last year. I felt that it would be detrimental for me to leave the hospital. The doctors also felt the same thing. But after much coaxing and signing off indemnity and so on and so forth, I left home. And I was still bedridden. I was in diapers. And along came a friend who said that she's got someone who has got access to the product. And I carry it right in my pocket.
I have it too.
Yeah.
It's always in my
It's
pocket.
in my pocket, right? So, and it's called Shiruto, right?
Yeah.
So I took 2 sachets of this, and then next morning it was a beautiful sunny day. I was calling for my kids and my wife, my caregivers. Right? I think they were not at home or something like that. Then I got out of bed. I walked to the bathroom miraculously. First time I've done in 1.5 months, almost 2 months. Took a bath, took a shower. My wife came home and she saw me in the living room, standing up and walking around and trying to be a busybody. And she clapped her hands and said, "Hallelujah!" She couldn't believe that I'm walking. So,
I'm sure.
yes, all goodness comes from the mighty Creator, but sometimes
Correct.
God works in mysterious ways, and this is one of it that was
Correct.
brought to my home, my residence, and that's the reason why I'm walking today. And I also like to say thank you to all the doctors who've been treating me. But I believe it's time for me to move on and part ways in better ways. Yeah. So, like they said, there's a saying, "Death do us part." So, like I said, you know,
Of course.
we part ways as friends, yeah. And I like to thank the doctors who have been treating me. But I also believe that Shiruto, which is by Dr. Inagawa from Japan,
Yes, correct.
is giving a lot of hope. In Japan alone, there are 320,000 Crohn's sufferers. Crohn's is something that will just come upon you like very silently. You won't even know you're having it until you see telltale signs. So at the very investigation of bleeding, or if you're hemorrhaging from your anal area, immediately consult a doctor and get a few opinions. But this is autoimmune related, so there are loads and loads of autoimmune diseases out there.
Correct.
So I believe Shiruto, in one way or another, has helped
will
me.
regulate.
Yeah, it regulates
the
and
immune
repairs.
system.
Yeah, so I'm here today.
Thank you, Dato. But what makes you believe in BE?
Well,
Just
I looked
because of
at
Shiruto?
Well, Shiruto was one, but this has come through a platform. And when I look at the founder, Engineer Lee Sweat Sen, and his wife, Miss Ho Hui Chun, I looked at the humility of these people, very down to earth, and I said, as founders, there were no airs about them. And I just felt that I wanted to understand the business philosophy a little bit better. And, talks about humility, honesty, and, humbleness, and so on and so forth. And also basically to look at how we can bring this forward. There's a lot of hope out there. In the course, I must say this, my disclaimer was that in the course of me being treated, I've tried everything from volcano ash to they call it the porcupine bile, you name it. Everybody has said, you try this, you try this, you try this.
Yeah.
And when these people came to visit me, my good friend from BE, I thought it's going to be very expensive, but it's a couple of hundred ringgit. So I tried it. I tried it not because of what the product is. I tried it because it was manageable for me, having spent close to 200,000 ringgit in medical treatment. So I just felt that this is a more definitive way, because it's got lots of medical testimonies. It's been tested for 35 years, and it's a Nobel Prize win. The inventor is a Nobel Prize winner. So in medicine, so I said, what could be the worst scenario? I said, just give it a go. Yeah.
And even give it a go for BE?
Why not? I'm not. I just believe that I'm here in solidarity with my wife, who's been kind enough to look after me all these years. So I just felt that this is one way that I support her initiative. I've got things to do on my own.
I'm very sure.
All of us have.
I'm very sure.
Chasing
You
dreams
are
in
one busy man, of course, I know.
More or less, yeah. So on that score, I'd like to say thank you, and my regards to everybody.
Yeah, we should be the one thanking you for your time.
Thank you
so
Take
much,
care.
Dato.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Cheers.